Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at making films. But mostly, we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Benj. And you guys all know how poor we are at making films after that Easter video we made. That
was more of a animated film.
still film.
If we made like a...
Well, I mean, we don't talk about the other films we made.
That sounds way worse than it actually is. We have not made...
Is it, though? Is it worse the way it sounds
than what it actually was? The Reese's video is not something associated with this channel.
It is associated with this channel.
It's not.
It has Two Poor Artists name in it.
We've now mentioned it on this channel too, so...
It's real. It's canon to our universe now.
But that's not what we're drawing today. Thank the Lord for that. We are drawing... Well, here's how it works. We figured out recently that in the year 2023, there's actually going to be a surprising number of movies that we care to see.
Mm-hmm.
A large number of them are just movies that were supposed to come out over the last couple of years, but never did. Like, there's some actually decent-sounding superhero movies, and you've got Indiana Jones.
Wait, there's decent-sounding superhero movies?
The Flash movie comes out. I want to see that.
It could be good.
Could be. There's also Indiana Jones. There's Mission Impossible. You know, there's a new Spy Kids movie coming out the end of this year.
See, you're listing all movies that I don't think we care about.
I think they're on my movie list for this year. I used to make a movie list.
Like, has there been a good Indiana Jones movie?
Hey, this is deviating too far from what I meant for this. There's a lot of movies I care to see. Is that better? Should I have said that?
That's probably better.
There's the Super Mario movie. There's John Wick 4.
Okay, those movies sound good.
There, finally, I found some you want to see. There's another Expendables movie. See, I
mean, that one I'll probably watch, but I know it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, that's
that's
not why you watch those. Yeah. The point is, I used to make a movie list every year saying, here's like the 10, 15 movies that are coming out that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But for the last few years, it's been like there hasn't been enough movies to make a list.
Yeah.
Like
there's two movies we will go see, and we barely care about either of them.
But this year, there's a lot of movies, so it got us thinking of other movie lists. So what we have done this week is I have gone to the top 100 movies of all time on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. And Benj has gone to the bottom rated 100 movies of all time on IMDb. And I've picked a title of something you're going to draw.
Right.
And you've picked a title of something I'm going to draw.
Yep.
Because we don't know what these movies are really about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what the one I'm giving you is about because I saw it a long time ago.
And I looked up what the one I'm giving you is about.
Have I ever heard of it?
No one's ever heard of it.
I feel like the bottom 100 might have...
Most of the bottom 100 I've heard of. But because they're, like, known to be bad.
Yeah, because they're just, yeah.
You know, like Birdemic was on there. And
things people like to make fun of. Where they made
the hands of Manos.
See,
the hands of
we also really like Mystery Science Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So Mystery Science Theater has made some of these, like, movies that nobody should ever have seen. They've made them popular by, if you've never seen Mystery Science Theater, basically they take usually old, sometimes they're not old actually, just really bad movies. Right. And they watch them, and while they're watching the movie with you, they make fun of them.
Right.
Which is hilarious, and it makes watching a terribly painful movie that nobody should ever see really enjoyable.
Yeah. And they also edit out most of like the boring scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So today, your movie. Maybe the most famous movie of all time. And I say that only because if you're like a film critic, I feel like I've never met any film critics, but it seems like every film critic has to basically say this is the best movie of all time. Something about how it changed filmmaking for the rest of time, and something about how they used different camera angles and things that had never been done. And supposedly it's very revolutionary. I've actually seen it. And as a child of the 90s, I probably saw it in the earlier 2000s, I thought it was just an old movie.
Right.
It is called Citizen Kane.
See, I think like the most famous movie would be like something most people have actually heard of.
I feel like a lot of people have heard of Citizen Kane. Just because it comes up whenever you look up top 100 movies or whatever.
I've heard like the title before.
Yeah, it's the one that made.
Is Kane spelled with a C or a K?
It's technically spelled with a K.
Interesting. I'm not gonna draw it with a K.
See, yeah, I mean, you can interpret it just as the.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie that made Orson Welles famous. Brilliant.
What? He was a book writer.
Orson Welles was a director.
Then who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Orson Welles.
What's the same name?
You know how that works.
Because I've heard of Orson Welles.
Well, yeah, everybody's heard of Orson Welles.
The not director.
Yeah, but can't you be both?
Like, is he the same guy?
Yeah, he's the same guy.
Well, he's more famous for his books.
I think technically that might be true. But that's not the point of today's thing. Today we're talking about movies.
Okay. I'm just saying. I don't think this is the most famous. Like, most famous movie is probably like Titanic or like what's that? Like the Ten Commandments or Avatar.
See, because Orson Welles, he wasn't famous for like the book necessarily. He was famous for the radio drama.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe. I don't really know why he was famous.
No, you're thinking, are you getting Orson Welles and H.G. Wells confused?
I might be.
Like the War of the Worlds guy?
Which one is War of the Worlds guy?
H.G. Wells. But Orson Welles did a War of the Worlds like radio thing that freaked people out.
What?
Have you never heard this story?
Yeah, I've heard that story. That was Orson Welles?
Yeah, I think so.
Who wrote?
Orson Welles
the
took
book
the
writer?
story. His H.G. Wells.
No, like who wrote the
War of the Worlds?
No, not War of the Worlds. The other famous, like the Big Brother book. 1980. I don't even remember the title of the book. I should, but I haven't been in school in so long.
George Orwell?
George Orwell. That's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
That's who I'm getting him confused with.
All you need to know
He's more famous.
is that this guy wrote and directed a movie called Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. These are just skyscrapers, and their windows are perfectly even.
You know what else you should know? Orson. Oh, thanks for specifying. You know what you really should know Orson Welles from?
What?
So growing up again, early 90s or in the 90s for us, one of the
Mhm.
greatest things we got to grow up with was Transformers.
Right.
And this was before we were born, technically. But the Transformers movie that we grew up watching,
Mm-hmm.
he is the voice of Unicron.
Oh.
Like this uber famous director-actor.
Okay. I've drawn some lines in the background, so just be ready for some clothing to match up with.
Yeah, you never start with the background when you aren't allowed to erase.
Well, I mean, we do.
Yeah, but we shouldn't.
Okay, it's this guy. He needs to have some sort of. You know what? This guy
I don't know what.
he's gonna be wearing an outfit that you may not expect.
Is it a citizen's outfit?
No.
This guy is obviously way closer to us than these skyscrapers
Yes,
too, right?
that's just obvious. He has a real long neck.
Oh
And
man,
then his
I'm looking up
clothes
other
starts
Orson
right
Welles
here.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a movie called. He didn't write it, but he was in it.
He's in
I
it.
don't even think he was the main character. It's called Get to Know Your Rabbit. It's a shame I didn't pick that one. I don't even know what that's about. Just a dumb title. I'm just scrolling past.
You should have picked that.
It's not in the top 100 movies of all time list.
Well, I mean, it's not like that was a rule until you said it.
I mean, how else do we just pick movies? You
Yeah.
picked from the bottom 100. I picked from the top 100.
Right. I'm just saying. It doesn't have to be a rule.
You don't have to do anything, Benj. We can just...
We can just, okay, this is
His neck lines up quite well.
it's a pretty long neck also.
I think it had to be to line up with the...
And so,
background
as
line.
you can tell, this guy has like a cape on.
Yes, I can tell that.
He's not Superman, but I wanted to make it clear that he's a hero, so I put like that type of symbol there.
The hero symbol? The like generic gem symbol?
Yes.
I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the movie Citizen Kane. I'm going to look up some trivia on IMDb. If you've never done this, by the way, I do this for almost every movie I ever watch.
How do you spell citizen? I feel like I've already failed.
Izen.
Really? That's citizen? That looks so wrong.
Citizen.
There's no way that's right. It looks so wrong.
Look, it's right there. I'll show you the title.
Wait.
It's on the top by my thumb. Citizen.
It's so wrong looking. Look at it. Look at what I wrote it.
The way you wrote it, it definitely looks wrong, but that's not.
It's so wrong.
That's not a good indicator of what's right and wrong. All right, so if you've never watched, every time I watch a movie, I do this now. I look up the trivia on IMDb because they have. Oh gosh, I just realized what you drew.
It has to be striped because there's a line there.
Well, now it's a candy cane, I guess. Oh my gosh.
And it has a hat. Like, I want it to be one of those, like, hats that, like, you might, like they used to wear.
So, would you like to learn something about the movie Citizen Kane?
Sure.
Here's the first bit of trivia. The film's opening was just the title, and it had none of the movie stars' names. That was unprecedented, apparently, in 1941.
That's like every movie now.
That's actually what it says next, yeah. But back in 1941, groundbreaking. The reason this movie is in the top 100. Just the title.
These buildings also have windows, but they don't cover up the words, obviously.
Okay, next bit of trivia. There's a man named William Randolph Hearst. He was so angered by the film that he accused George Orwell of being a communist in order to keep the film from being released.
Why?
Doesn't that make you want to look up William Randolph Hearst and his beef with the movie?
Yeah, like
why he hated it so much?
Why did he hate it so much?
I don't know.
Like, should it have been hated? Do I hate it that much? Maybe he was. Maybe that whole narrative is a lie, and he actually was just a communist.
Okay, the next bit of trivia on this is also fascinating and has to do with William Randolph Hearst. It says, during filming, Orson Welles received a warning that William Randolph Hearst had arranged for a naked woman to jump into his arms when he entered his hotel room. And there was also a photographer in the room that would take a picture in order to discredit him.
Remember a time when that would discredit someone?
Yeah, I know, right? But the scenario... First of all, just because a naked woman jumps, how did he know Orson Welles would instinctively catch her?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you instinctively catch someone?
I think if I walked into my hotel room and anybody was naked and ran and jumped at me, I would move out of the way. And the photographer would have a weird, awkward picture of someone who had just like jumped into the wall behind where I was standing. Not, yeah.
Maybe.
To be fair.
But did it work?
To be fair, the trivia said that Orson Welles spent the night elsewhere, and it is unknown if the warning was ever even true.
Ah. So we'll never know.
We'll never know. No.
Never once know. I'm going to draw another line.
Oh, the next bit is about Orson Welles. The The next bit of trivia is also about Orson Welles and William Randolph Hearst.
See, I feel like these weren't actually enemies. You're moving the table as you laugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. That line is terrible.
Like, this feels like just things friends do as pranks more than.
How often have you secretly arranged for that to happen to me?
Well, I mean, our pranks are more appropriate.
Yeah, you only arrange for clothed people to jump into my arms.
Yeah, and photographers. Also, these are like rich people pranks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I couldn't hire someone. I don't have the money to pay someone to get naked and throw themselves in your arms.
Or a photographer.
That's true of any kind. It said the next bit of trivia, on the night the movie opened in San Francisco, Orson Welles found himself alone with William Randolph Hearst in an elevator at the Cinny's Fairmont Hotel.
Oh boy.
Unaware that his father and Hearst were friends, Welles extended an invitation to the magnate who attended the film's premiere. Hearst turned down the offer and was about to exit the elevator at his floor. Welles remarked, "Charles Foster Kane would have accepted."
What? Who's Charles Foster Kane?
I think he's the guy in the movie.
The guy in the, why? So what? His like character. His statement was that his character that he made up is better than this guy.
Apparently, well, I mean, this guy apparently maybe hated the character in the movie. I don't understand that bit of trivia, but that's not the point.
Mm-hmm. So, but this is what I think the movie's about, right? So there's the movie starts off with a superhero that like lands and says, "Hey there, citizen." And there's this like living cane. You know what? I'm going to draw. The cane has arms. And so then there's this cane that's alive, that's a citizen. And then the rest of the movie just follows this cane to his day job, like just a normal life, but he's like a cane. And you're like,
yeah, no,
you're just like, this is such a weird movie. And that's what you're thinking the whole time.
You know, it would be a good idea for someone to just go and like take famous I'm sorry. I just saw the arm.
Yeah, he has.
It's super creepy. Why is he like have a Lego person arm and hand? What is that?
It's his cane.
Oh my gosh! Why is he holding it wrong?
He's not holding it wrong.
Is that how you hold a cane?
Yeah. I mean, it might be backwards.
I think it's backwards.
It's also a striped cane.
Yeah, just that part's good. Yeah.
The handle, the like top handle part.
There's a lot of clever lines you've added.
And then this slide.
Yeah, but it would be a good idea for people to take like really famous movies
and
remake them just literally based on the title.
Yes.
You know, like some of them would hold up, like Gladiator. That was the title of one of the top 100 movies with Russell Crowe.
I mean,
that would be just literally about a gladiator.
Yeah, which
works
I mean,
out.
Was basically. Yeah.
But then you have movies like Citizen Kane, and this would be the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why there's a superhero.
Yeah,
but
well, just to show that he's a normal citizen.
Oh, I see the difference. You're either a superhero or you're an average citizen.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a cane.
Yeah.
He's a cane.
Yeah, but like other movies, like Titanic, literally about Titanic.
So not all Kane, like this isn't his child. Not all Kanes in this universe are living things.
That's also really weird.
Just this one.
It'd be like if we walked around
with like a human-shaped cane.
I mean, to be fair, humans do, especially kids, have like human-shaped, not real humans, like babies. And
right,
stuff.
but like not that we use as a cane.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Imagine, if you will, you have a small human. It looks like a human, but it's just a cane. And you just like pick it up by the head, and you walk like you go on a hike with this human cane.
Yeah,
that's what this guy's doing, but he's a cane.
I get it.
Well,
hang on. I have to tell you the actual plot of Citizen Kane.
Let me draw like the title.
Yeah, I'll read the actual plot of Citizen Kane according to IMDb.
Okay.
A group of reporters are trying to decipher the last word ever spoken by Charles Foster Kane, the millionaire and newspaper tycoon. Rosebud. That was his final word.
Oh.
The film begins with a newsreel detailing Kane's life for the masses, and then from there, viewers are shown flashbacks from Kane's life. As the reporters investigate further, the viewers see a display of a fascinating man's rise to fame and how he eventually fell off the top of the world.
Well,
From what I remember of it, it's about a guy who like starts off, looking for like his first job.
mm-hmm.
And then he gets a job at the newspaper. Picture like the story of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. I'm picturing it.
Not the real one, but the one that the movies are about.
Okay. Right.
Like, how he gets old and then he gets like hardened by the world and becomes a terrible man.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like that without the redemption.
Right. Okay.
And then if I remember right, like he goes through his whole life and he like ruins relationships and he comes like on his deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
He's like reflecting on how he wasted his life. And then he
Right.
utters his final word, which is in all kinds of things now. It's in like kids' cartoons and stuff. He says Rosebud as he's dying. It's his last word.
Rosebuds are just like a thing, so.
Yeah, but it's not normally somebody's last word. It's become like a parody thing that is in movies now. Like as somebody's dying or pretending to die, they say Rosebud.
Oh.
Because it was so famous in this movie.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Now you'll notice it and stuff.
I probably won't.
I'll point it out to you. But I'm pretty in the movie. Rosebud was Kane's. It was his sled when he was like a kid.
Oh.
It said Rosebud on it, and the movie ends with him like dying and saying Rosebud, and then it shows them like throwing all of his possessions into a furnace and burning them. Because he died and left everything behind.
Right.
And it shows the sled being like with the word Rosebud painted on it, being thrown into the fire.
Right.
And you're supposed to like with Scrooge, you're supposed to like reflect on your existence.
Oh. That's the purpose?
Yeah, it's
Reflecting
like,
on your existence?
don't waste your life kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So there's like a moral to this.
Yeah, in a way.
That the last thing you'll care about is
He's not
a
like
childhood toy.
exactly.
Okay. So just keep all your childhood toys. Surround
Look at
yourself
the
by
room
them.
we are sitting in right now.
Surround
What is it full of?
yourself in your childhood toys.
What is this room full of, Ben?
I see you took this lesson to heart.
My grandparents had me watch this movie at a young age, and I never forgot it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, so the most important
Yeah,
thing
because
in
he
my
says
life,
Rosebud, and everyone's like, "What's that?"
it must be a girl.
Yeah,
or
like people are
something.
like so confused. If I'm like plastic lightsaber, they'll be like, "Hey, doesn't he have one of those? Doesn't he have multiple of those in his
hanging
office
on his walls.
Yeah, there'll be less of a mystery.
Yep. Makes sense.
Of course, I think I missed the whole purpose of the actual
Yeah.
thing, but
Mhm.
I took a meaning from
A
it.
meaning.
That's the whole point
not like the good meaning.
That's the whole point of art, is to interpret it as
As
you will.
many meanings as
It
you
has
want.
a meaning the artist intended, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's the meaning you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my
Well,
turn to
yep.
butcher. Well, actually, I might improve it if
Yes,
it's coming off the
you-
bottom 100
Yeah,
list.
you might. Yeah, you can't unimprove it. Let's just put it that way. Okay, are you ready for your title?
So this is in the top or the bottom 100 movies.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to know what like the ranking is for this one? I mean, not like the ranking in the list, but just the score that it received.
On IMDb.
Yeah, out of 10 stars, it got a 1.2.
Oh no.
The movie.
When was it
called-
made? Can I
it
know
was
that?
Made in 2004.
Oh no. It's really modern.
It's called Daniel the Wizard.
Daniel the Wizard.
Yep, Daniel the Wizard. See, it's like such
Daniel.
a normal modern name,
Yep.
and then the Wizard,
Okay.
which is not a modern job that people have.
No, it's not. No, that's probably what makes it so confusing. Daniel the Wizard. Okay, I have to get this idea in my head now of what the heck I'm actually going to draw. What kind of a wizard do I want? Do I want like Ice King wizard from Adventure Time?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want like Gandalf the Grey wizard?
Mm-hmm.
See, Daniel the wizard isn't doing a whole lot for the imagination here.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel the wizard.
Do you want to know the genres this is in?
Yeah, why not?
Comedy, crime, fantasy, music, horror.
What? It was sounding
fair,
normal until we got to music and horror.
To be fair, the horror, I'm pretty sure, is just because it's so bad.
Why do you say that?
Well, let me just say, here's the Parents Guide for Violence and Gore.
Ooh.
It's rated severe.
That sounds pretty
Says,
bad.
the violence isn't in the movie. The violence is when your eyes start bleeding after watching this.
Oh, no. That's really bad.
In the profanity, it also says severe, but then it's just somebody cussing at the movie.
What? Is this even a real movie?
In frightening and intense scenes, it says severe. All audiences may be horrified by the horrible quality of the movie.
Is this? No, seriously, this isn't even a real movie.
It's a horror film because it's so bad that you can be disturbed.
This can't be real. Like,
it's real. How about I go into some of the trivia while you're drawing that wizard hat? Let me pull up this trivia. According to a newspaper report, one theater showed the movie as a sneak preview. When the audience realized what they were about to see, they forced the theater to show a different film.
This doesn't sound real still.
Voted best movie of all time in a survey by German magazine called Cinema.
How can it be both the best and the worst?
The movie was later disqualified because either pranksters or fans of it had manipulated the voting.
Shocking.
Many German theaters removed the film from their schedules after the first weekend due to extremely low ticket sales. By the way, it's a German movie.
Oh, that changes things. But it also helps because I think I'm accidentally drawing Pinocchio.
Its original title is Daniel der Zauberer, which I'm assuming is just Daniel the Wizard, but in German.
Pinocchio, that's like German, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, he's German.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, I was thinking it was technically like not German, but I think it is German.
I think this something's wrong with it. I don't know how to fix it though.
The guy who played Daniel, which by the way his actual name is also Daniel.
Is this like a student film?
Called this the worst movie ever made. He said he was so excited to be starring in his own movie that he became blinded to the various faults in the screenplay.
Did they name it after him because they wanted him in it?
Definitely possible. The director said, sorry, I'm trying to skip some of these that might give away things about the movie.
Oh, yeah, because I don't need the help at all.
The director said that he wanted to make a film that shows young people how to deal with frustration and hate without getting into the eternal cycle of hate and counter hate.
This guy's like a really young wizard, I guess.
In his opinion, the understanding between the old and the young people and the mutual trust play an important role in it, and so he decided to shoot the film with an intergenerational cast. Like, in Germany, is having intergenerational cast like a unique thing?
Intergenerational mean like there's
you
some
have, like,
old people
and some young people? Like, isn't that just...
Is that what you want?
But isn't that just like normal?
Yes.
like you just... Like, how many movies are like, oh, sorry, we already hired an old guy, so we can't have any young people.
You know why I realized this guy doesn't look like a wizard? Because
doesn't have a beard?
Yeah, he doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, what kind of wizard doesn't have a beard?
I'm going to have to fix that, but not yet. First, the robes.
Let me go see if there's any fun goofs. Because IMDb apparently has like a goofs
I think
section.
when it's in the lowest 100 movies, that's just like the whole film. Oops, it was made.
Oh, man, that scene, it was actually made. Oh, there's only one.
Yep, his robes go all the way to the floor.
In one of the scenes, the microphone guy is visible in the mirror.
Oh, that's not even that bad.
I know.
Because there's like professional movies where that like, you know.
I mean, there's probably just that not enough people watch this movie to like put more goofs in. Or they're like, I mean, that was like in the first scene, and then like there's no reason to continue on.
I don't know if that made the hat worse or better. I feel like I'm gonna go with better. Now I have to draw a beard. I feel like my guy from last week.
Just
he's a new wizard. It hasn't quite.
Just like a goatee.
This is exactly what I did, I think, in last week's drawing. Or a week or two ago. I don't know which one it was. But it's like, I started drawing a beard, but then, you know. Why?
Just a goatee and a little mustache.
This next part of the video, the drawing, I should say, is for the ladies.
Oh. Okay. That's too bad.
Well, yeah, you would think so. It's not for you. You take this next part for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Granted.
Like The Rock.
You don't appreciate this part.
Okay.
But I'm constantly told.
I'll make sure not to appreciate it.
Yeah, don't. You can't.
Okay.
Can't appreciate it. It's not for you. It's for the ladies. The ladies.
One of the characters in this movie.
Hang on. Get to this in a second. I got to do the thing for the ladies first. You know how many ladies out there complain that their clothes don't have proper pockets?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's does.
Well,
his robes have.
That's because he's a guy.
He's wearing. Yeah, but it's like a dress. They're always amazed when a dress has pockets.
Yeah,
not purses.
The dress has a purse built in.
Here's what'll make this even more impressive. I think is he'll keep his spare. Like, what do wizards keep in their pockets, right? Like, magical things.
Yeah, like
he keeps
components.
But he keeps his whole spare staff in there.
Oh,
not
even like a wand.
Not even.
Like
no,
staff.
I was gonna say a wand, but it's a whole staff in there.
Okay. Yeah, I used to be a proponent for women's clothes having pockets, but then I realized that they don't want them, so I stopped caring.
What do you mean they don't want them? I just did this for all of womankind.
They say they want them, but then they refuse to buy pants with pockets because it makes their hips look bigger. So because of the double thick, like pocket material, and they don't put things in them. So they refuse to buy pants with pockets, and then they complain that they don't have pockets.
Ladies, is that true?
Everyone in our comments tell us, because I mean I've talked to multiple women and they've said that exact thing, where they complain about pockets, and I asked them, why don't you just buy pants with pockets, and they say because they don't like the way it looks.
I had no idea.
But in this movie, there's a character named Balthazar.
Like one of the wise men?
Mm-hmm. But also, the director of the movie played a character in the movie called Johnny. So I'm just saying, this is a movie where there's Daniel and Johnny alongside Balthazar.
He has a stripe on his thumb, in case you're wondering. It's a birthmark.
Oh.
Yeah. It has nothing to do.
Interesting. Not
It's also it's. Do you see what's wrong with this?
His hand is like backwards.
Okay, so this is a cursed wizard. That's what the movie's about. Cursed wizard.
Is he like fighting against the hand mangler?
No, I don't know how to draw the hand mangler. I wouldn't dare do that today. But he was cursed.
I thought you just draw yourself.
He was cursed, but the only thing that he's cursed with is that his left and right hands are switched. So we can't see his other hand clearly.
Right, but it's switched.
It's his right hand is over there, and his left hand is right there, coming out of the right arm.
Yep.
Daniel the Wizard.
Want to hear this featured review?
Yes, I am on the edge of my seat.
He gives it a 1 out of 10 stars because you can't give it less. That's not what he says. I'm just acknowledging
interpreting that
you can't give things a 0 star. He says this movie is probably the worst quotes movie I've ever seen.
He doesn't even put it in a movie
yeah, and I've seen many movies. It's cruel.
Cruel?
Yeah, save your money or throw it in a trash can, but don't spend any money for that movie. It seems to me the director didn't find enough real actors for his movie.
I mean, you did just say the director is like
in the movie.
Yeah.
So he fills the cast with his family. And for all the happy folks out there who don't have any idea who on earth this guy is. Oh, I'm not going to read anymore because he starts to give he's like, just in case you didn't know who the movie's about.
I mean, to be fair, I have already decided on the plot of my movie.
Okay.
You might as well just tell me what this one's actually about.
Okay. Well, I won't tell you what it's about, but I'll tell you who the guy in it is. So Daniel, the guy that the movie's named after.
Yeah.
He's both the main actor in the movie and he's in the movie.
Yeah, I got that.
As himself. His name is Daniel. Sorry, everybody who's German that's watching, but his name is Daniel Kublok. Like it's Kublblock. Like, how do you pronounce BLB?
BLB?
Yeah.
Like B. Bulb.
Yeah.
Bulb.
Kublblock.
That's the guy from Star Wars.
Is it?
No, that's Sebulba.
Oh. Yeah, so Daniel Kublblock.
That's a great name, actually. I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm. He is known for... You want to know what he's known for? He is known...
I feel like it's going to be bad.
He is known for placing third in the television talent show Deutschland sucht den Superstar in 2003.
I think it's pronounced Deutschland.
Sure. So he's known for placing third in a German pop show, like talent show.
He's like the American Idol.
Like they got third
place
in a German one.
He's like, wow, you know what I should do next?
Make
a movie. And then everyone's like, nope, don't want any part of this. So he just filled it with his family.
Yeah.
I know what we're gonna watch tonight.
He's not the director. So it's filled. The movie has like the director, and so the director and his family's in it, and this Daniel guy's family is in it.
Wait, the Daniel guy's not the director?
No, he's not. The director's name is.
So he took advantage of the third.
Lomel.
He took advantage of the third place pop star guy.
Yeah.
Because if you get like third place on like a singing competition, no one ever hears about you. Second place has a chance. Right. Sometimes second place actually becomes more famous than first place. But third place, name one third place of anything, really.
I mean, this guy. Daniel. I mean, I can't name him because I
Yeah,
can't say his last
see,
name. But...
can't name him. Like I said, there's something to be said about that. If they have a good, memorable name, they're not going to be third place.
Well, and that's why Daniel, he said that in that interview, he's like, I was just so excited to be in my own movie that I didn't realize it was so bad until afterwards.
Oh, it all makes sense now. It really does.
Yeah, he was just like tricked into this movie.
This needs something more in the background, I feel like, but I don't know what there should be.
Also, apparently this Daniel guy, he's the only reason that like anybody even kind of cares about him is because he's like so opposite to like German. Apparently, here, let me read this thing said about him. It's in the trivia section on here. I didn't read it before because
that may look like a giant pipe from the Mario Bros. Game, but let me reassure you, it's not quite what I intended. It also kind of looks like the Teen Titans Tower. And I'm actually just now regretting even adding it to this drawing because I'm not entirely sure what it was supposed to be.
Was it supposed to be like a wizard's tower?
Yeah. We'll put a W on it for wizard.
So here's a quote. I don't know whose this quote is from. It's either from the director or from Daniel. It must be from the director.
I am on the edge of my seat.
It says, I know that from my childhood in Germany, we were taught this way. You must not do certain things. You have to behave yourself. And now there's Daniel. And he isn't willing to take those fixed bourgeoisie roles. He creates his own role. He breaks taboos. Makes himself up. Dresses like a girl. He cries.
Oh,
his
no.
clownness is hysterical.
No. See, I got that part right. Daniel is dressed up like a girl.
Yeah.
He's got his female wizard robe. And the only way you can tell is because it has a pocket that no one wants, apparently.
For short, he doesn't behave himself. And because he does this in public, I think some consider this as a salvation and love him, and others can't bear this and hate him. So apparently he's just like one of those like people that just like acts super weird all the time in public. But then apparently he's actually not like that way often. Like that's not actually how he acts.
It's hard to tell when he literally always acts that way.
Yeah, but according to the director, that's not how he acts.
How is I think the director is weird.
Yeah, the director is weird. But I mean, to be fair, like looking at this one little video clip of the movie, it is just the worst made movie.
Okay, so I think that was clear just from the rating. Like, to be fair, I like a lot of movies that have like 5s and 6 ratings.
Right.
I don't think it's possible for anybody to really like a 1 rated movie, is it?
I mean, I don't think so. Like, it looks like it's like filmed like it was a documentary on like a bad camera, but it's just not.
It's one of those type. Oh no!
But it's not one of those types. It's just that bad. Like it looks like a student film, but it's not a student film.
This movie is super confusing. The more
It came out in theaters.
Well, German
theaters.
I don't know what it takes to get in German theaters, but
here I'll read the plot of it now that it, because it has nothing to do with lion heads.
Okay, let me just before you give me the actual plot, let me tell you the plot of this movie.
Okay,
that I've written very little space for the actual title.
Right,
very little space for the title. This is Daniel the Wizard. He has his wizard tower.
Yep,
and
why does it have a W on it? Like
for wizard,
he labeled it for wizard.
That's how you know it's a wizard's tower.
Yeah.
If you just put a D for Daniel, it could be like anybody.
Yeah, but it's like he just like acknowledges that he's gonna die one day, so he's like, "This is just a wizard.
I'm just the wizard of this era.
Yeah, any wizard can have this tower later."
He was inspired by because his name's Daniel. He was inspired by the story of Daniel and the Lion's Den,
right,
from the Bible. So the only spell he really knows is the lion head spell.
Okay.
He shoots lions.
And why did you say why?
Because the lion is saying that.
Yeah, why?
Exactly.
Is the lion saying it?
Because he's confused.
Like, why do I exist?
Exactly. The head just like spawns and
Mhm.
it guilts the person that it's being shot at, and then it just like explodes with electricity and
So, like, it
and
doesn't,
wizardy.
like, bite. It's not like a lion attack.
Yeah, I mean, it can do lots
Just,
of
like,
things, but
questions
it's usually
its
just like
existence.
it questions its existence and then poof,
Okay.
like wizardy explosion sounds. You know, like
Right.
they're not possible to make. It's kind of like electricity mixed with an explosion mixed with a lion roar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Thank you for pretending.
So, this is the plot of the movie.
Let's hear it.
It's a pretty short plot. Evil assassins want to kill Daniel Kablak, the third runner-up
Easy for you to say.
for the German Idols.
Oh no! It's literally about the guy.
Yeah. So he's in it,
Oh no!
and the assassins are trying to kill him.
I don't have any room for the title. I filled in every little. Wait, that's the whole plot?
Yeah, that's the whole plot.
I need more.
Here's the poster.
Oh no! He looks like a creepy Willy Wonka.
Yep. That's check out this awesome image from the picture from the movie.
Is that him
In the background, I think it's him.
wearing women's clothes?
I mean,
Or maybe that's just German
I don't know.
fashion.
It's like a orange turtleneck long sleeve shirt thing.
It's like I would have said this was filmed. When was this made again? 2000.
Like 4.
Okay, so it could have been filmed on a cell phone.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no. It's so bad looking.
Here's this guy sneaking.
Oh, that's actually my favorite picture. Just picture a guy creepily with his hand on like the edge of a wall peering around, but in a
if
top
you
hat.
guys just look up Daniel the Wizard on IMDb, the pictures I'm showing him are all just right there. I mean, I don't really suggest looking it up, but there's nothing.
If you feel so inclined.
Yep.
Daniel the Wizard versus Citizen Kane.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the thing. I don't really know.
I think I might rather watch
Yeah,
Daniel the Wizard.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, there's something to be said about like, if a critic like loves a movie,
Mhm.
I usually don't.
Yeah.
Like there's exceptions to that. People give movies good ratings, and I'm like, all right, I like that movie too.
I mean, some movies are just good.
Yeah, but looking at that list of top 100 movies,
Mm-hmm.
there was only like a very select few that I've watched and enjoyed.
Right.
Maybe like 10 of the 100.
Mm-hmm.
And that means there's 90 that are just like, I would never watch that.
Yeah.
Or even reading the plot of some of them,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll never watch that. It sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
Whereas, like, I was reading the bottom 100, and now, I mean, I'm not saying I would want to watch the majority of those movies, but the fact that there were movies in that list that, like, I either have seen and liked, or that I would be happy to watch,
Mm-hmm.
is weird. Because
It
why
is.
are these the bottom 100 movies of all time on IMDb?
Yep.
And, like, I would be happy to watch them.
See, the thing is, there's something fun about watching a terrible movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's what Mystery Science Theater gets right,
Mhm.
is that they watch a terrible movie with you,
Right.
and then they do what everybody should do when they watch a terrible movie. They sit and they make fun of it for the entire movie.
Yeah.
You know? That's fun. You can't really do that with one of the, like, top-rated movies,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll watch it and you'll just usually be like, this is boring.
Right.
Like, there's nothing really to make fun of. It's just not enjoyable. So many of them are just dramas, or like people say they're the best of all time, but they're really just not, unless you're like a
Mhm.
super movie nerd who can explain the technical reasons, like Citizen Kane, why it was the best.
Right. And some of the bottom 100 though are just like people, like it was almost like a meme that they were bad. Like for example,
Is Morbius in there?
no.
Oh, see, that would have.
Morbius got like good reviews.
Yeah, because Morbius wasn't bad, but people hated on it.
But like Cats.
It's
Cats
in the
is
top.
here.
It's in the bottom.
Yeah, it got a 3-star. It's like number 23.
I mean, I
And
saw
it's
the
like-
trailer and it was creepy.
Like I would never really want to watch that movie, but like I know it's not that bad of a movie. It's not bottom 100.
it can't be the worst thing ever.
It's not. It's not worse. Look, it's literally the movie
like-
before Daniel the Wizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see,
Like it's not
you're right.
worse than Daniel.
That
the
one
Wizard.
suffered from you're like the internet decided it had to be horrible.
Yeah, and like really low on here, like number 8 on here is Son of the Mask, and it's like that was like compared to the other Mask movies.
And again,
It
but
was
the
dumb, but-
thing is, that movie had like a Hollywood budget
Mm-hmm.
and Hollywood production value to some
Yeah.
degree,
Right.
versus like Daniel the Wizard, looking at the pictures of it, or like Birdemic or whatever, has like no budget.
Yeah,
It was like
they look like student films.
student films where they like downloaded some software online and taught themselves how to quickly use it, to like edit it or whatever, and it's just terrible
Right.
quality. Like it can be a terrible and super painful movie, like I'm sure Son of the Mask is,
Right.
but it's not the worst of the movies. There's like tons of homemade, low budget Daniel the Wizard style.
Steel, like Shaq playing Steel. that's on
Is
here.
it really?
Yep. Catwoman's also on here.
See, I've seen parts of Catwoman, and it's
Also Kazam and Steel
Oh,
are
man.
both on.
okay. See, yeah,
No, yeah, I've seen Catwoman. Like again, it's not a good movie.
No.
but it's not
terrible
bottom
writing,
100.
super cheesy, painful lines. But again, there's worse.
Like I would watch it again, and it wouldn't feel like I'm okay. On here, The Master of Disguise. Now that's just a good movie.
No, I liked that movie.
I've watched that movie.
It's super stupid.
Yes, no, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like I've watched that movie multiple times, and like even recently I've watched it on purpose. Hercules in New York. I mean, come on.
Never heard of it. Thank
Oh,
goodness.
really? It's
Definitely sounds like something
it
that would
was
be on Mystery
Arnold-
Science
it was
Theater
Arnold.
3000.
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was called Arnold Strong.
Yeah, I mean it's probably terrible. Don't get
And-
me wrong, but you're right.
Yeah.
Can't be the worst. I doubt it's the worst.
No, I mean it was made in 1970, and it's literally about like Hercules in New York.
That would be quite something.
They should remake. Batman and Robin is on here.
Oh, come on. That is that's a bad movie. But
Mhm.
again,
Spy Kids 4. Again, it's definitely not
some of these were
Good
just things that
movie.
really disappointed people, so they
Yeah.
just review.
because like Spy Kids 4 was like, so like Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3 were like the same people. Spy Kids 4 was like
yeah. So again,
the next.
people just got
like, it was like a
disappointed by
remake.
it, so they.
Yeah.
Well,
Superman 4,
yeah.
Jaws 3D.
Yeah. Again, those are just fun to make fun of.
Mm-hmm. Dungeons and Dragons, the 2000 movie, is on here. I watched that. Like, I mean, it's not a good movie again, but
Yeah.
yeah. See, that's my thing. Like, bottom 100.
I would be more.
I should have not even heard of any of the bottom 100 movies.
yeah, like Daniel the Wizard.
Like Daniel the Wizard. Like, that movie deserves to be bottom 100.
100%. Thing is, there's also, I think, movies that you just listed that I'm like, oh, I'd kind of want to go see that.
Yeah.
It would probably be fun to make fun of. It would probably be
Right.
terrible and
Yeah.
cheesy. But it's more interesting than some true crime drama from the 70s that won
Mhm.
every award, or
Right.
something that was good just because critics decided it would be, or
Yeah.
were paid to say it was one of the best ever.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's so often the case. Is like the movie's good because people say it's good, but then you're like watching, and you're like, I don't even get why.
I mean, usually I just don't even watch movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, it's a rule with me. It's like, oh, critics love that. It's like, dang it,
Yeah.
I was almost looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
It must
probably bad.
be horrible.
Yeah, there's some exceptions to that, but
Yeah. Very rare.
yep. Well, whether you go watch the 100 top movies of all time or the 100 bottom, we're very thankful you've watched the bottom artists
Yep.
of YouTube today.
Yep. We definitely fit in that category soundly.
Yep. Nobody's ever heard of us, and we're just the worst.
Yep.
But if you've made it through this incredibly long video,
Mhm.
There
This
must
might
be
be one of our longest
Yeah.
videos.
there must be something to be said about, what we have done here today. Our art has made some kind of impact, for better or worse. And maybe you're showing this to your friends. Maybe this is your third watch, and you're just like, look at that guy's goatee. It's just the worst. Why does he have a wizard tower shaped like that? Is that supposed to be a mushroom in the grass? Because yeah,
I just assumed it was. You have two of them, don't you?
I thought there was a third one, but I guess I never drew it. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemies' time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.